Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Miriam Crespo y soy abogada de migración y trabajo para la oficina del abogado John Redmond. Estoy muy contenta de poder estar aquí hoy para presentarles a ustedes a uno de los candidatos judiciales que es juez ahorita en el tercer circuito, pero está corriendo para un asiento en la Corte Suprema del estado, de aquí del estado de Louisiana. Y estoy muy orgullosa de poder presentar al juez Jimmy Genovese. I guess our first question is, why don't you tell our viewers why you do think that this election is important?
Well, the Latino vote is so very important because you can see that there's so much participation in the United States now with the Latino involvement, and they're not to be forgotten in any way, shape, or form. The Supreme Court race that we have that's coming up November the 8th, we're going to be replacing Justice Jeanette Knoll. And that particular position is important because, in my view, the balance of the court is at stake. And it's so very important. If you're in law, you care about who your judges are. And it's so very important that the judges be fair and impartial to everyone. That's why this race is important, and it's important for the Latino voice to be heard. They're part of the fabric of this community, and it's important for them to get out and voice their opinion, make their vote known for the candidate that they think is going to be the best candidate in this race. And unquestionably, I mean, I wouldn't be running if I didn't think I was the best candidate in this race. And the key in this particular race is that the Supreme Court is an appellate court. It reviews the decisions of lower courts. I am an appellate court judge. I review the decisions of lower courts. So what the Supreme Court does is what I do. And I'm ready to hit the ground running to make sure that what I've done over the 21 years that I've been a judge is to make sure that I treat everyone equally and fairly. I give them a level playing field, that I'm not influenced by outside interest groups or special interest groups, and that I follow the rule of law. And that's what it's all about. I'm the only appellate court judge in this race, so I'm ready to hit the ground running. My opponent in this particular race is a district judge that has never had any appellate court experience at all. And that scares me because I want to make sure that what I've done for 21 years I can bring from the appellate court to the Supreme Court so that everyone is treated equally and fairly, regardless of race, color, creed, origin, and those things.
Una de las cosas que hemos oído de la candidata que está corriendo en contra del juez que tenemos aquí, que estamos entrevistando, es que ha dicho que no importa los años de experiencia que tenga la persona, no necesariamente eso quiere decir que es el mejor candidato. Entonces nosotros queremos oír directamente de él, así como nos ha explicado que no va a haber diferencias dentro de las razas de las personas cuando estén en una corte enfrente de él, como él tiene la experiencia ya haber revisado esas decisiones que fueron tomadas por cortes menores, y al llegar a esta Corte Suprema va a volver a hacer esos mismos actos y va a hacer un mejor trabajo. Pero lo que le queremos preguntar a él hoy en día es qué diferencia, si hay alguna, va a ser para la comunidad hispana tener a él en ese asiento de la Corte Suprema de este estado. ¿Qué cambios podemos esperar nosotros como la comunidad de que nos puedan ayudar al tenerlos a él en ese asiento? What kind of influence would you have with those other justices when you sit on the Supreme Court as far as things that will change and matter in Louisiana? So for example, during Katrina, we had a lot of migrant workers that came in. People weren't used to seeing those day laborers on the corners. So when the work and the reconstruction was being done, everybody was very welcoming. But once the work was completed or far along, you know, it kind of changed the rules for the people who had moved their families here to be able to participate in that reconstruction, and they were forgotten. And a lot of times the Latino members in our community feel that when election times come around and people need votes, they're there, but once the election is over and they get elected, we're forgotten.
Miriam, this is my third contested election. In order to be elected, I have to have more votes than my opponent. I'm very sensitive about that. I'm not here to ask for your vote today and to forget about you tomorrow. I'm here to ask for the vote of the Latino community today. I don't forget. I was raised by, my mother was a Dejan, okay? My father was a Genovese, okay? So I've got an Italian and I've got French. And so that's why I am emotional about that. My mother has trained me as a little boy. Son, don't forget which side your bread is buttered and from where you came. I'm very sensitive about that. I want to make sure that when I ask you for your vote today and tomorrow, I'm going to be the same person today that I am tomorrow. And for 21 years, I've treated everyone equally and fairly, regardless of whether I needed their vote or not, because that's completely irrelevant. And you have to always understand that these people that you represent them 24/7, not just when you need their vote. And that's what separates me from my opponent, because I am a people person.
Y una de las cosas que quiero enfocar que acaba de mencionar el juez es esto. Él acaba de expresar un dicho que dijo su mamá cuando estaba creciendo, que decía: nunca se olvide quién le puso mantequilla a su pan. Y una de las cosas más importantes de eso es la humildad que ha tenido de recordar de dónde vino, quién fue que le enseñó esos detalles y esos principios que son importantes y que compartimos muchas veces con la comunidad hispana. Una de las preguntas que ahora le quiero preguntar es, apartándonos un poquito de la comunidad en sí de inmigrantes, pero enfocándonos más en el poder de las mujeres y la influencia que ha tenido. Sabemos que esta elección ha sido algo increíble, los comentarios que hemos escuchado, y quiero escuchar de una persona, especialmente de un hombre que está en esta posición de autoridad y está buscando aún una posición de autoridad más grande dentro de nuestros estados. ¿Qué es lo que podemos esperar y qué mensaje le podemos dar a esas mujeres que estamos pensando que nos sentimos abandonadas por el sistema? And so I'm just wondering if there's a message that you can share to the Latino women who are going to be out there, and after hearing your message and listening to this interview are going to feel motivated and empowered to go out there and vote. What else can you tell them as far as things that they can either aspire to or that the system has to offer to them and will have to offer them as a state as a whole, because we are electing people like you who really believe and understand our community?
That's a great question. The question, and again, you'll know that I often refer to my mother. My mother, I'm a mama's boy, and I follow my mother's teachings. And my mother always said that the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world. And that means that the mother is the most important part, and I'm a mama's boy in that regard. So having raised 5 daughters, and that's been an interesting task involved in that. I'm very sensitive to the women, to the ladies. One of the best, finest Supreme Court justices we've had on the Louisiana Supreme Court was Justice Kitty Kimball. She was a very powerful force, a very strong leader, and so I'm very sensitive about that. In this particular race, 54% of the electorate are female, so that's very important, and that's something to consider. It's a woman's world, as I see it. I do. I feel that way. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Y una última pregunta que tenemos para el candidato al juez es, muchas veces nosotros queremos identificar con las personas con que vamos a votar, y una de las cosas que nos ayuda a hacer eso es saber si ha tenido alguna controversia o algo en la vida que lo ha llegado a llegar a este momento. ¿Qué obstáculos ha tenido que enfrentar para llegar aquí? Él es humano igual a nosotros, y la pregunta para él será: ¿cuáles son las cosas que él ha podido sobrevivir y que nosotros también podemos ver y admirar en él? How can our community relate to you? What kind of obstacles have you overcome in your life that have gotten you to this position and that have made you stronger? What is it something that you can tell our community?
I'm the baby of four kids. I have an older brother, a sister, a brother, and then myself. I'm the baby of the family, and there were 9 years difference between me and my oldest brother. When I was 8 years old, my brother got killed in a car accident, and it was catastrophic. I remember it, and it was over a good 56 years ago. I remember it like it was night and day. I got the phone call when it came over that he had been in a wreck and he was killed in an accident. And I saw what it did to my family. It ripped us apart. My brother always tells me, I wish you could have known your daddy the way I did, because he was different. When my daddy was different before my brother Michael got killed, and I didn't get a chance to know him the way he really was, because it was hard enough for them just to keep on and carry on. When you lose a member of your family, my mother always said, son, you've never experienced anything until you've lost a child. And I remember that, and it took our family a long time to try and heal from that adversity. We put our lives back together again. There was a tremendous void, and we had to get over that. My brother played music. I played music. I never had an opportunity to play with him. And that's just one of those things in life. But everyone suffers misfortune in life, and you have to pick yourself up and move forward, because God has a plan for you. And growing up in my family, my mother was a very strong Catholic. I had to go to a Catholic school, a high school, for 12 years, and I did. I had to go to a Catholic law school. I didn't have any choice. When I was accepted into law school by LSU, and I was all excited to go and go to LSU, and when I went to talk to my mother about that, she said, well, okay, this is the deal. You want to go to LSU, you pay for it. You go to Loyola, I pay for it. So 3 years later, I graduated from Loyola School of Law because I'm not crazy, okay? Not loco, okay? That's the kind of thing that the strong Catholic influence, the strong family unit, understanding that you will have adversity in life and that you have to get over that adversity because the Lord will test you and He'll see what you're made out of. And you just pick yourself up when you fall. You always look at the glass as being half full and not half empty, and you will be surprised how successful you can be. And I know I have seen the success of the Latinos in the United States of America, and I'm impressed by that because I like to see good work, good ethic, and a good result. And when I look at it and I see the success, I go, yes, you're going places, and there's always room for success in the United States of America. And look, my father came over through Ellis Island. He was from Avigliano, Italy. I mean, my grandfather came over, and he started pulling coal in a wagon, selling that to people in Stamford, Connecticut. And he made it, and he built it into Genovese Industries. Now, it's not Latino, it happens to be Italiano, okay? So that can be done. So it just goes to show you that with the good work ethic, that you can be successful. And I want the people to know that. That has nothing to do with the election, okay?
Comunidad, lo he escuchado aquí hoy en día. Tenemos este candidato para la Corte Suprema que realmente ha expresado su interés en la comunidad hispana. Ha asegurado que nos va a tratar con justicia, ser justo en tratamiento de las personas que tengan sus casos propuestos antes de esta Corte. Ha escuchado cómo es humano, como cualquier otra persona, y muchas veces nos olvidamos que los jueces también han tenido obstáculos, que son humanos y respiran el mismo aire que respiramos nosotros. Tiene un interés especial en que nosotros como la comunidad salgamos, participemos y votemos. Entonces es importante que sepan qué candidato elegir. He hoy en día entrevistado y presentado a un candidato que cree en la comunidad hispana, que ha prometido tratarnos con justicia y ser cauteloso en todo lo que haga con nosotros. Así que les pido que el día 8 de noviembre salgan y voten. Recuerden que para votar temprano pueden empezar a votar a finales de octubre y esperemos que estén presentes. Voy a darle la oportunidad al juez de dirigir unas últimas palabras a la comunidad y le agradecemos por acompañarnos hoy en día aquí. So Judge Genovese, I just want to thank you on behalf of the community to being able to lend us your time. I know that you're a really busy person, especially during this time, and being able to explain and talk to the community about different things of why this election is so important, why you're such a great candidate, and just different expectations that our state can have by having people like you elected to this important seat. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell our viewers, if you've had last words or message that you'd like to let the community know?
Well, Miriam, thank you for having me. I appreciate it, giving me the opportunity to reach out to the Latino vote, to understand that I'm a human being and that their vote is important, and that to me, I don't look at it as Latino. I look at everyone being equal because that is my job as a judge, and that's what I've done for 21 years. And I would encourage the audience to please go on Facebook and check me out on Facebook and see. You can find out everything about who I am, what I am, my family, what I stand for. And I think that's important for you to know who the person is that you are going to cast your vote for. So few people know about this race, and many don't care, but it's important. It's important for your future. And thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Judge Genovese. Thank you for
Grazie.
being us today. Grazie. Thank you.